it's our experience from the standpoint of people mixed up in the advertising community that there is so much emphasis in media on taking low-hanging fruit and trying to
Yeah,
figure out how to either point at fights or pick fights, get people in fights and then point at them to get
yeah,
attention, because that's the low-hanging fruit, right? Just get people mad at each other, and that's what's going to work. So
yeah,
it's really interesting to hear that rather than divide or exploit, you're focused on joy. And so as a journalist, how do you see that manifesting differently?
well, that's the way we approach it, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard because we are, a Latino majority organization, POC organization,
Yeah.
and we're already painted a brush. Like we're by, in this grand spectrum, it's like we're biased, we're too close to the community. All we do is talk about immigration, blah blah. We get that
Mm-hmm.
all the time. I mean, just go
Okay.
to my Twitter feed, and so. But I think that kind of gets into like who's gatekeeping media, because I think one of the things that we try to do when it comes to issues of objectivity is that who gets to write the rules. And American media has been written by, the rules of American media have been written by white men. I mean, there's no other way to put it.
Yeah.
And so why can't we create our own rules as Latino journalists to be like, no, but you haven't looked at this POV. You look at like the rise of Black journalism, like perfect example. I mean, outlets like The Root, which I love, like they're leaning in, right? And so I do think it's sort of this reckoning in the media space to be like, what we were told is what makes for excellent journalism has been questioned.
Mm-hmm.
And there is media out there that is used to politicize. And there is this like sense of you have to have two sides to everything. I would argue it's like, do you like what's the other side of racism? I mean, there's racism. I mean, so, and I do feel like we sell ourselves short in this quest to balance it out. And from an advertising perspective, it's the same thing. It's like when you had a media ecosystem that was just three networks and daily newspapers that were the thing. Now, where everything gets deconstructed and people can hang out with their tribe and be quite successful at it and live their life, like, what do? Right? This whole notion of like taking a stand, I can see why it would freak some people out.